Hello and welcome to a beginner's workout for the Bowflex. My name is Eric. I'm a certified personal trainer, and this routine can be done on any Bowflex with this top set of pulleys right up here, and you can start running your resistance up to them right now. Now, if your Bowflex came with a lat pull-down bar, or maybe you bought an aftermarket one, you're going to want to use this for the first two sets of the routine. However, I'm going to show you how to do these lifts just using the normal Bowflex handles, and I'll also demonstrate them with the bar. And you definitely do get a better experience using the bar, but you know, we're going to make it work for all different setups. So this is going to be an interval style routine, meaning we're going to be working out to this clock behind me here. 25 seconds of work followed by 25 seconds of rest. So we're going to be moving through this thing relatively fast. And we've got a total of 22 sets of work hitting our entire upper body. And as a beginner, you might be like, whoa, 22 sets. But you know, if you worked out with me before, this thing is going to fly by, and we're going to get through this thing together. And to help you, I'm going to be coaching you along. I'm going to be giving you advice about our lifts. There'll be previews of everything on the screen, and we'll be through this thing in no time. So stick with me here. We're going to have a little 3-minute warm up, then we're going to rack up our resistance, and we're going to get into that workout. All right, let's get going here. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's start out with some jogging in place, or you can do some jumping jacks, or maybe high knees, whatever you want to do to get your body warm. And then we'll get a little stretch going. So while we're doing this, let me tell you about today's lifts. Our first two are going to be hitting our back, where we're going to start out with a lat pull down, and then we're going to do a standing high row. And both of these lifts can be done with the bar or the handles. Again, I'm going to demonstrate both of them. Now, after that, we're going to move to a tricep pushdown, hitting the back of our arms. Definitely need the handles for that lift. Then we're going to move to our core muscles, doing a seated high crunch. And then from there, we're going into a chest fly. Now, after this chest fly, we're going to have a 1-minute break so we can recover a bit. I'm also going to recommend dropping the weight setting down just a little bit as we go into a standing iso bicep curl. And then finally, we're going to finish things out, hitting our core again with some wood chops. Now we're going to wind this jog down, move into some saucers. Pretend your nose is the center of a spiral, and trace that spiral into bigger and bigger circles. Always change directions and trace that spiral inwards. Okay, torso twist, hands together, elbows popped out, and let's spin side to side here. Loosen up our back and our core just for a few seconds here. Nice. Okay, some arm circles, arms all the way out, and we're going to start out like the saucer, small circles that get bigger and bigger, and we should be at full rotation here. A couple full spins, and we'll change directions. And now let's start to bring those inwards. Okay, YTW's up next. We're going to reach up nice and high, all the way up, and then bring your hands together. And we're going to go out wide into a T, and then together, and then get a nice squeeze in your back, making this W, and then bring them together. And we're just going to repeat these a few times here. Out wide, together, and then a W. Y up nice and high, together, a T, together, and a W. Now at this point here, you can do whatever you need to do today to get loose. I'm going to finish up this YTW and then move into some finger pulls here, loosen up my hands and my forearms. And when this clock hits 0, we're going to start racking up our resistance. I'm going to be racking up 130 pounds of resistance on each side. But you know, rack up a weight setting. That's going to be tough for you, but not impossible, right? So the 130, that is a very heavy weight setting. You know, if you just have the stock resistance, maybe go with 100 pounds of resistance here to start. And that'd be a heavy weight setting. A medium weight setting, you might be able to bump it up to 80. And for a lightweight setting, you know, I try doing 50 as well. So you're bumping things up. But if you need to bring it down a bit, that's okay. You know, we're all at our own levels here. And we're going to get through this thing together. So one other thing is we need to put our bench at this angled position here. And now we're gonna be ready to go. I got my resistance all racked up and I'm gonna start showing the lat pull down. So for this, I'm gonna grip my entire hand over this handle here. So even my thumb is over the handle. And we're gonna sit down here and I'm gonna have a slight lean back. And ultimately, I'm just pulling this weight down to my shoulders and then retracting. And we're gonna try to take these really nice and slow. So again, it's gonna just be a nice pull, hold it for a sec, and then release. Here we go. So slight lean back, pull it down, and release. So I want you exhaling as you're pulling down with these nice and slow controlled reps. Now, your elbows, try to bring them down so they kind of end up, I guess, by your sides here. And that is going to be our lat pull down. So with these handles, one thing that can be a bit of a problem is, even if you're leaning back, it's hard to even start out with much tension in the lift here. And ultimately, when I set up the bar, it's going to be a little bit tighter and you're going to get a little bit more stretch on your lats. But again, having that little bit of a lean back is going to help out with that. You don't want to lean back too far though. All right, let's keep it going, almost there. Okay, I'm gonna rack up my bar here real fast for our final set of lat pull down. So for this, I'm gonna grab hands all the way out as wide as they go. And again, I'm gonna get this nice stretch at the beginning of this. And the bar is coming down right to my chest here. And then slowly releasing. So with the bar, you grab out basically as wide as you can go. Okay, nice. So that is our first set here. And so next thing we're gonna move into is gonna be the high row. And for this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave my bench at this angled position, and I'm actually gonna put one foot firmly up on the bench, and you need to do this for leverage. And then I'm gonna grab this handle, and I'm gonna go a little bit inwards, so it's not at the widest position, a little bit wider and shoulder width apart. And I'm just gonna then pull this bar back to my body. And you can be doing the same thing with the handles here. So as you're pulling back, I want you exhaling and then slowly, release that weight as it pulls back to the tower. Okay, there we go. So we got 2 more sets of that high row coming right up. Now, as I go into this next set, I'm gonna actually switch the leading foot here. This doesn't really matter too much, that leading foot. So if you feel like you don't have the same balance, it's okay, switch feet. Now, as you do this, try to let your shoulders get pulled all the way towards the tower and get a really nice stretch if you can. Okay, there we go. So I'm putting just my normal handles back on here. And if you're using the bar after the set, you're going to want to switch to these handles as well. So let's get in position. Last set of rows here. Let's go, team. So again, get that nice stretch in your shoulders if you can. Almost there. All right, nicely done. Moving into tricep press down now. So for this, we now have our back to the tower. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hands, I'm actually gonna put them over the handles, just like this here. Whoop. And I'm then gonna be basically sliding down. So I'm basically almost in the seated position, or you can hover a little bit. So I'm gonna have a little bit of hover, and then I'm gonna be pressing these handles down. So from here at my armpits is where things are gonna start, and then I'm gonna press them down to my thighs, and then just repeat here. So try to take it again nice and slow. Okay, 2 more sets of those coming up. And we are just rolling through this routine already. We're about a third of the way done already, and that's not even counting the warm up. Okay, hands back on these handles. Let's get ready to go, and let's press it down. Again, try to take these nice and slow. Now, it took me a while to realize what this lift feels like. It kind of reminds me of getting out of a swimming pool without a ladder, where you put your arms over the edge and then you try to press yourself up out of the water. That's exactly what that lift feels like to me. Okay, 1 more set of those. A couple deep breaths, and always stay loose between these sets. Maybe take some deep breaths, and you don't have to just stand nice and still. And let's press it back down. Here we go. Control that weight. Okay, nicely done. We're moving into some crunches here. And what we're gonna do for these crunches is you're gonna keep holding on to these handles here, and you're gonna bring them down kind of to your shoulders or to your ears. And then you're gonna kind of plant your feet here, and you might need to like put your toes down or something just for a little bit of leverage. It kind of depends on your weight. And then we're just gonna go in a crunch. So we're gonna bring our elbows down to our thighs, hold it, and then slowly release the weight. Okay, team, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Handles at your ears, bring it down, and that's 1, 2, 3. If you're finding this is too much weight, just try to work with me through this set, and we can adjust it in a moment. Okay, I got 2 more sets of that. And like I said, if you need to adjust the weight, do that now. You might need to back up the video just a little bit. I'm gonna stick with this weight here. This is challenging, and hopefully you find a challenging weight setting too. Here we go. Try to hold this fully extended position for a second if you can. Whew, there we go. So for this lift, we're really kind of working a little bit more of the top part of our abs. And some people think that you can't ever like get a curl in your back. When you're working your abs, you're kind of squeezing and pulling your upper torso down towards your legs. So you should get a nice curl in your back as you do these. Here we go. Last set of this. Whew. Okay, a little rest interval here. We have 2 sets of chest fly coming up, and then we have a minute rest here. So I'm gonna keep my weight setting the same. Again, you know, if you need to adjust it, you can do that. So what I'm gonna do for this lift, I'm gonna grab this handle and I'm gonna basically outstretch my arm nice and wide. And you can be kind of leaning up against the seat, or you can be a little bit in front of it. And I'm gonna be a bit in front of it, and I'm gonna have my arms out nice and wide, and then I'm gonna bring them together. Now, your hands don't need to tap in front of you. And I'm actually kind of bringing it a little bit like kind of in front of my torso, not way out wide. So it ends up maybe 10 inches off of my thighs here. So we're kind of hitting our chest and our shoulders with this lift. Now get a nice stretch as you go back. And again, try to take it nice and slow. So as you bring these down, again, I'm kind of like here, not too far in front of my body, and the handles aren't necessarily tapping. I'm bringing them pretty close though. So we got 1 more set of this chest fly, then we got that minute break incoming. So I don't know if you're sweating as much as I am gonna need it. So let's work through this set here and get to that break. Get nice and slow. Awesome, nice. So we got our 1 minute rest here, and you can grab a drink of water, maybe towel off or something if you need it. But we don't have that much time. We're actually gonna be bringing our weight setting down a little bit. I am gonna be dropping my weight by about 35% or so. I'm gonna now have 100 pounds of power rods racked up. So, you know, drop it 20 or 30, do what you need to do here. And we're gonna go into a bicep curl here. And for this lift, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this handle and I'm gonna walk out to my leg extension. And so I'm gonna have my arm outstretched. There should be a little bit of tension here. And then I'm gonna just curl this weight in, get a nice flex in my bicep, and slowly lower that weight back. So we're only hitting 1 side at a time here. So get a nice flex there and release. This lift always feels good. This is kind of, you know, like the magazine pose here. Really get to see that progress you've made with that nice flex in your arm. So short rest interval, spinning around, hitting the other side. Again, we're gonna get that nice flex. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Let's curl this in, team. You've got 10 seconds to go. A couple more reps. Okay. 1 more on each side. And then we got those wood chops left after this. And then we are done for the day. So let's get in position here. Let's curl up in 3, 2, 1, let's go. This is our last lift for our arms. So make sure you really give it all you got. Okay. Other side. All right, 3, 2, 1, curl it up. And 5 seconds to go. Okay, moving into the final set, our final exercise is gonna be wood chops here. We got a total of 4 sets. We're gonna do 2 each side here. So for a wood chop, I'm gonna be grabbing the handle that's opposite of where I am. And I'm also gonna kind of open up my stance a little bit here. So I'm kind of at an angle from the machine. And then I'm gonna grab the handle with my outer hand. And you'll notice I have this strap behind my arm here. And then I'm gonna try to keep my arm just straight here, and I'm gonna twist here and down. Now you can kind of move that leg around to figure out a good spot. You know, try to get this as far as you can. Now I run out of cable length as I do these. So you kind of need to find the direction that works well for you. And as you extend, hold that tightness in your core for a second and then retract. I like holding or watching the handle too as I do these. And let's slowly release it back. So spin around, we're doing the other side. Okay, here we are. 3, 2, 1, and twist. One more set on each side, and that's going to be it. We are 20 sets in today's routine. So I hope you've enjoyed this routine here with me. And you know, if you found this routine doing the program, don't forget to comment on the video to track your progress on that program. Or, you know, if you're not sure what this program is, check it out after the video. I have a series of beginner routines that all go together on this machine, and it's gonna help keep you motivated, gonna let you set a goal and finish this thing out. So a lot of people are like, hey, I wanna get into better shape, but they don't know how they're gonna do it. And the program really gives you that structure and also gives you that goal that you can kind of just set like, hey, I'm gonna do this beginner program. It's a 6-week program, and by the end of it, I guarantee you'll be stronger. Okay, final set here. Again, let's trace that handle back. Awesome job on finishing this routine out. Don't forget to remove these power rods from tension and wrap them up, you know, with a bungee cord or a strap, whatever you got. And that's gonna keep them lasting nice and long here. I also want to give a big shout out to my Patreon and Ko-Fi Elite members listed up on the screen. They support this channel directly. And they also get access to that workout program I mentioned earlier, along with all my workout programs on the channel. So if you want to support what I'm doing here directly, or just want access to all the programs, be sure to check that out. So thank you again for joining me. This was a 22 set routine. So you should be proud of yourself for finishing this thing. And I want you to be good to yourself and be good to others.